Mid-1990s, urban legends are circulating that rings of surgical thieves are stealing kidneys for illicit transplants. In New Orleans, rumors are so rampant that police have to officially deny them.
This friend of her brother's had gone to a strange city.
This fellow went to New York on a business trip.
And he was staying in a hotel, went to the bar there and had a drink with a stranger.
Attractive woman, tried to, get to know her a little better. They go back to her room. He wakes up the next morning.
And had some kind of suture on his
obviously
back.
Been drugged, and he sees written in lipstick on the mirror, "Call 911, your kidney is missing."
911, please state your emergency.
My name's Todd Leventhal. I worked for almost 10 years, from 1987 to 1996, at the U.S. Information Agency. It was a very interesting time. There was a lot of, I was very busy countering a lot of false stories. As a doctor once told me, in an organ transplantation, it's the only operation where someone has to die for the patient to live. So there's naturally a suspicion that maybe there might be some foul play going on. Urban legends kind of give a story form to these fears that people have about new technologies, and in this case, quite understandable fears about organ transplantation.
It's frightening. It's purely frightening because it is possible to be done. The reason why the myth lives is because, number one, it's technically plausible. Number two, there's a scarcity of organs available. So as a result, a story like this takes a life of its own. Most kidneys you could really remove within the hour. Most surgeons can do it. There's a special solution where you could put the kidney in and put it on ice, keep it cold, and then you have 48 hours in essence to transplant the organ. You would have to find out some information, the medical information of this unwilling donor. This would almost have to be like a stocking and well-planned type of retrieval. The poor guy who wakes up and finds that one of his kidneys have been removed will do fine if the skilled surgeon tied off the vessels appropriately, because you're working with the main vessels in the body. And other than having some severe pain, he should do fine. He does not even need to call 911.
A lot of people have heard of this kidney heist rumor in the United States, and it's got a cousin in the international arena, and that's what we call the baby parts rumor. And that story is that Americans are down in Central America. They either adopt or kidnap a child, bring it back to the United States, and use its organs for transplant. It's a horrible story with no truth whatsoever, but it's very widely believed. I did a report to the United Nations where I laid out all the facts in each case and how there's absolutely no truth for it. This got some attention. Mass hysteria taking over in Guatemala in March of 1994 when some newspaper articles ran on this. You had several Americans attacked and some people from Central America as well, and one woman, June Weinstock, visiting tourist from Alaska, was beaten to within an inch of her life by a mob of probably 200 people. Somebody said, the gringa stole that child and she's got the heart in her backpack. But this mob eventually overwhelmed the police, went in and beat this poor woman with firewood until they left her for dead, and she's alive but can't communicate. These things, they touch a hot button in the human mind. It goes past the rational lens and goes right into the fear mode. And people say, oh my God, isn't that awful? They don't stop to think all the reasons it couldn't happen. They just think about the horror of it, and they believe it, and they talk about it to their neighbors.